Just starting out in Enshrouded? Here are 20 tips and tricks to help you get into the game. One of the first things you should know is that your Rested buff is actually a pretty big deal, so don't overlook it. The reason for this is that it significantly increases your max stamina and stamina regeneration, allowing you to perform fundamental actions such as sprinting, jumping, mining, swimming, and dodging more frequently. To keep it active, anytime you die or the buff runs out, teleport back to your sheltered home base to restore it, so you're not playing at a disadvantage. You can also easily get the buff by sitting near flame altars, or even just settling in by any open fire. Tossing a torch on the ground works as a source of warmth as well, making it the simplest method to restore the Rested buff. To sit in the game, press and hold X and then choose the sit emote. With the torch out, this should get you about a 5-minute duration of the Rested bonus, assuming there are no comfort levels present. Comfort levels extend the duration of your Rested bonus, and you can increase those levels by crafting and placing furniture in your base. Your food buffs are also important, as they can give you a significant boost to each of your stats, especially in early game. You can have 3 food buffs active, later 4 with a skill upgrade. Each food type typically focuses around 1 or 2 benefits. Meat foods, for example, are centered around boosting your maximum health, while mushrooms increase your overall magic damage. Be sure to check the description of each food to see exactly what stats they're boosting. In Enshrouded, food also doesn't stack like it does in some other survival games, as you can't have 2 of the same food category active at once. This means you can't replace one of your foods of a specific category like meat with another meat food until the current buff is at least half expired. Have you seen any bushes or trees in the game that are red instead of green? These are easy to overlook, but important if you're planning on playing a mage early on. Instead of giving you common tree forageables like twigs or wood, these have a higher chance of dropping resin, which is integral for crafting early game flame spell charges. While you're out exploring, make it a habit to always collect sparks from any shrines or sanctums you find. You'll need them to strengthen the flame at your home base. Doing this helps you progress your game, boosts your stats, improves your resistance to the Shroud, and lets you place more flame altar bases that you can teleport to across the world. Speaking of bases, you don't need to worry about building anything fancy from the start. You can easily claim abandoned structures you find already pre-built around the world as your own base. To do this, just clear out all the enemies around and plop down a flame altar. Since you'll need access to water in the game for farming, it's a good idea to choose a place with an already built well to get started. There are several abandoned villages around the map that are great for this. To help with this, I'll put together a guide on the best early game base locations soon, so keep an eye out for that if you want some easy starter spots. If you're ever not sure what to do next in the game, check your journal and follow the quests you find there. There's a feature in the game that lets you track exactly where the quest is taking you on the map. Also, read the red-marked lore notes you find in the world, as they often lead you to discovering hidden side quests. On the topic of quests, you'll see several in your journal. Not sure which to do first? It's never a bad idea to prioritize the ones that unlock new NPCs for you. Most of the time, these characters can help you unlock better crafting recipes and new quests so you can progress further through the game. Once you've rescued them, you'll need to place them in your base and talk to them regularly to make sure you're getting all of your quests though. Sometimes, when you reach certain milestones in the game, it'll unlock new side dialogue with them that tells you about more quests. It's also worth it to unlock their assistance, as they can give you extra quests too. Did the weapon you get from the start of the game break and leave you empty-handed? You can use your torch, pickaxe, or axe in a pinch to fight back against enemies. The pickaxe and axe require you to lock onto a target, and once you do, they have a separate sweeping attack animation that works great for doing damage to wide groups of enemies. Don't skip crafting the basic items. That includes the first armor set that looks like rags. It helps reduce the damage you take a lot more than you'd think. While you're at it, make a shield too. Even a crappy shield can block most things in early game, and can help you practice parrying with its increased parry power, which can come in handy for stunning enemies. You'll definitely want the grapple and glider as soon as possible too, as much of the world's terrain and exploration revolves around these two. They're especially necessary for unlocking many of the ancient spires, towers which you can easily fast travel to that make traversing the rest of the world much quicker overall. Oh, and before you do anything else, if you're finding these tips to be helpful, be sure to drop this video a like, and subscribe if you'd like more tips and guides. You don't actually need to have your bow or staff on your hotbar to use them. If you equip them on your character screen or from your inventory, you can hold Q on the keyboard or left trigger on controller whenever you want to pull them out. While you're readying your ranged weapon, you can scroll through your spells or ammunition, and this will cycle through them in the order that you place them into your inventory. On keyboard, you can also select them individually by the number they're assigned to. Need to repair your equipment on the fly? If a scavenger camp is nearby, you might find an anvil you can use to quickly fix up your gear. Later, you'll have access to crafting repair kits, but this works nicely for the earlier stages of the game. Frustrated with durability as a mechanic? Either invest in the quality gear passive in the skill tree, or consider disabling it entirely in your world settings if that's something you don't want to deal with at all. Prioritize crafting magic blue chests for your materials when you can. Your crafting stations can automatically pull items from these chests if they're placed within the same base's boundaries, so you don't have to worry about carrying all your crafting materials in your inventory. If you've unlocked the Carpenter NPC and have the appropriate materials, you can also craft a quick stacking station. This will allow you to quickly move items from your inventory onto existing stacks of items into your blue chests. You can toggle the stacking setting on or off in each individual chest. Some large dungeons in the game, like the Hollow Halls, can take a while to explore. Only go in these when you have some time on your hands. If you do need to take a break midway, make sure you reach any flame altars you find inside. You'll be able to quit out of the game and then come back to that same flame altar you left off at when you're ready. In Enshrouded, loot can be found all over the place. Break things you come across, like crates and barrels, and you'll often find stuff inside. Something looks suspicious? Try digging that area or bombing it out because there might be something hidden beneath. This is especially true for those lumpy brown piles of dirt, as those often can be hiding a special chest full of loot beneath. There's also false walls you can come across, with chests just waiting for you behind it, so keep an eye out for suspiciously framed door-shaped structures along any hallway you come across. Don't just leave gear you don't want unlooted. Pick it up and salvage it. Doing this will give you runes that you can use to upgrade the gear you actually like, making them stronger and activating their locked perks. If you've fully upgraded your favorite equipment already, you can also use your spare runes to respec your skill points instead. On the topic of skill points, when you're leveling up in the skill tree, don't tunnel vision on filling out a single archetype. Skills on different paths can still benefit from other classes, so it's always a good idea to mix and match them. For instance, certain skills down the Guardian tree, such as Tower and Warden, can help magic-focused players with their overall survivability. To help with figuring out how you want to spec your skills in the game, I found that a nice resource for this happens to be online skill tree planners. I'll link my favorite in the description below. Mining ore actually gives you experience points, and can add up to a significant amount with a large enough vein. Don't feel like digging though? You can still gain experience from killing enemies, discovering new map locations, reading lore notes, completing quests, and so on. You can also come across the occasional experience scroll while looting chests, and that'll give you a flat 100 experience upon use. All but the last of these can also be adjusted in the world settings as you see fit for your playthrough. Want to earn extra skill points too? Prioritize taking out Shroud roots. These can be marked on your map with either purple icons or ambiguous green circles with 3 question marks when you ignite an ancient spire's flame or discover an obelisk, and they're found both inside and outside of elixir wells throughout the land. After reaching the core of an elixir well and breaking the root, you'll get 3 skill points, whereas the Shroud roots outside of wells only grant 1. Skill points from any Shroud root you come across are worth picking up though, as each one works towards the maximum points you can get in the game. Something that makes this much easier is an axe, since chopping the root is faster with an axe than a standard weapon. With this in mind, you can use your glider to fly down to the roots inside of the wells to cut them down quickly. You can also destroy enemy spawners with the axe to keep yourself from getting overwhelmed by mobs. It's important to note that this does not include axes categorized as weapons, as only the tool type comes with the extra environmental damage. If you want to avoid fights entirely, you can also just use long-range attacks in the form of explosive arrows. These allow you to take out a root from a distance. For our final tip, have fun exploring, and don't be afraid to die. Dying isn't super punishing in this game as it can be in some others, since you don't lose your gear or the majority of your refined materials, so don't be too scared to get out there and uncover the world. The only thing that really happens is that you pretty much just drop unrefined materials you picked up. So if you died, you drop your ore, but not your processed metal bars, or you drop your wood, but not your charcoal. But if you don't want to lose any bit of loot when you die, you can easily toggle this option off in the world settings menu for a stress-free experience. That's all I have today for beginner tips. Do you think you'll find any of these useful? Which were your favorite? And which did you least expect to be a thing? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.